Hello and welcome. My name is Lori Painter, a holistic health practitioner and life transformation coach for women. I've created this little mini series sharing with you the tools and the resources that I have implemented over the past 20-something years working in the health and wellness industry that have empowered me to transform my life from one that was disempowering, limiting, and self-sabotaging into one that has been full of love, inspiration, freedom, and empowerment. And I am sharing these tools and resources with you that you can maybe look into them. Perhaps you're in a place where you're feeling stuck or disempowered or stuck in a loop, or maybe you're just depressed and don't know where to go. Maybe one of the resources that I share with you in this series lights you up, piques your curiosity, you investigate it, and you find the value in it. And if not, there's a million other things that you can implement. But today's video resource that I am sharing with you today is all about grounding. And I know this sounds kind of funny because I used to have my family members kind of tease me and to ask me if I was like a tree hugger and all these funny things. But I wanted to talk about grounding. And grounding is just basically the practice of being outdoors with your feet in on the earth. And there are two films that you can look into this further and deeper. One of them is called Earthing, and the other one is called Grounding or Grounded. I believe both of them are on YouTube, and you can look them up and see what you think. But there have just been so many studies done on the power of this that people are finding like, oh wow, you're feeling more grounded. We hear that you got to get yourself grounded. You're not grounded. I didn't even know what the heck that even meant years ago. So this practice of being outside, the practice is just go outside for no less than 20 minutes a day in the sunshine, in the fresh air, bare feet on the earth, and allow your body to get in sync with Mother Nature. And another resource that you may want to look into, it's called Schumann's resonance. And this is based that the earth gives out a vibration or an energy or a frequency that is equal to the physical body's vibration. I know it sounds kind of out there, at least it did to me. Maybe it sounds totally normal to you, but if it's out there, it sounds out there to you, I was there too at one point. Now, I get it. And so the earth has its frequency and it matches the physical body. And then the atmosphere has another frequency that matches the mental frequency. So being out in nature, what happens is when we are around electronics, indoor, totally disconnected, we find that our frequencies get off. And when our frequency gets off, we find that our energy, there's disharmony in the body, mentally and emotionally and physically. When we get out of sync or in this disharmony or this chaotic state, obviously nothing good comes from that, right? You can't sustain excellent well-being and expect that this would just, it just doesn't really happen that way, okay? So going out and being outside, what it does is your body gets grounded and gets in sync with the frequency of Mother Earth, and then your mind gets in balance with the frequency of the atmosphere. That's called the Schumann's resonance, and this creates harmony. It reharmonizes, it recalibrates the mental frequencies and the physiological frequencies so that you are back in rhythm and in sync. So that is a tool that I have implemented. I go for a walk every day. They say you need like a 5-mile walk every day. That's your 10,000 steps or whatever. So I take advantage of that and I get outside, and I will tell you the days that I get out and walk and the days that I'm outside in nature, there is a sense of calm and peace. There is a sense of for me, the best way that I can say it's like, there's not an agitation. It's like, I just feel in the flow of life. And when I don't do that, it's a little easier to get caught up into things and get tripped up on things, get a little anxiety, get a little bit of whatever, get out of sync. So whenever I feel that way, I know that I need to go outside and spend a minimum of 20 minutes in the sun, in the fresh air, breathing deep and free, feet on the earth. And I wanted to share a personal story with you. Well, this is a story that I had a friend share with me years ago, and I never forgot it. It goes in alignment with this topic today. And I had this friend, and he was a very nature guy. Like, he could tell all these beautiful things about nature, just far more sophisticated than I was. He was very in tune with it. And one day he was talking to me about grounding and what they would do for kids when they were misbehaving. And I don't know if it was what had happened to him, but I believe this was the story that he shared, is that when him and his friends or his siblings would be acting up, ADHD or what was it? Just basically like hyperactive, chaotic, disruptive, poor behavior, just being a menace or whatever, that the parent would say to go out in the backyard and dig a hole. So the kid had to dig a hole. And then after they dug a hole, they had to take a hose and fill the hole up with water. And then once they did that, they had the kid sit down with their feet in the muddy water for like 20 minutes to an hour, right? And he goes, well, Lori, what would happen is that we would calm down. And I thought, well, maybe it's because you're exerting yourself from digging the hole or, whatever. Whatever the method was, it was working. And it reminded me of when I was in school and I was studying reflexology, and they were talking about how the bottoms of the feet and the bottoms of the hand actually had the ability to uptake nutrient and minerals from its environment, which sounded to me at the time very out there, because it was just not anything I was ever exposed to. So I thought, okay, well, that's interesting that he's saying this. He's saying that the feet were absorbing the energy of the earth, and then I'm thinking, okay, then there's these minerals that they're taking in through the bottom of their feet, and they're going, okay, like, I can have an open mind about this. Like, I can see how spending time outside, absorbing the grounding minerals from the mud would do this. But it definitely took an open mind. So here's what I say. If this sounds too woo-woo or out there for you, have an open mind and practice it. Set a goal for the next 30 days or so to go spend 20 minutes to an hour outside with your feet in nature, breathing deep, enjoying the sun, enjoying the fresh air. See what happens. See if you don't notice that your mind gets a little more clear, or that you feel a little bit more at peace or a little more grounded in your life. See if it does make any benefit. And if it does, then amen. Again, watch those films, Grounded, Earthing, or anything about Schumann's resonance. Check those things out. All this is intended to do is to expand your mind into thinking about ways that you can support yourself other than the traditional methods that are out there. And, this is one that I have found a huge, tremendous amount of value in. And I couldn't imagine not doing this. I know that when I was a young child, I always was happiest when I was outside. And when I get cooped up in the house way too much, I'm not happy. I get agitated or I get depressed. I need to be outside. And so, of course, I love outdoor recreation. I love surfing. I love snowboarding. I love playing on bikes. I like going for hikes. I love it all. And even if it's just going for a walk outside, I find tremendous value in this. And I hope you do too. Thank you so much for being here, and I will be sharing more with you in the future. Thanks. Bye.